Hi everybody, Helen with you today, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do this aligned double cluster stitch. It's a very tactile stitch. It's quite a nice thick one, so I think it would be good for things like sweaters and cardigans, although there isn't a lot of drape to it. It would look really cute on bags, for instance, where you don't want a lot of an awful lot of give. It's a very tactile stitch in that it feels quite squishy and you just want to touch it a little bit, but it does have a lovely texture to it as well. Now, one of the secrets with this stitch is to keep your tension fairly tight, not hugely, but just enough so that your double crochet two together stitches actually create that cluster effect that raises just a little bit. So let's get started. You can see here I've done my starting chain. Now you can use any multiple of stitches for this, so having a starting chain plus however many is not necessary here, and it's the same pattern all the way along. So I'll just continue from where I'm up to. So you would start by chaining 3, which counts as a double crochet. Shall I come in a little bit more there for you? So we've chained 3 and we need to do a double crochet in that first stitch as well. So wrap your yarn around your hook, insert it into that first stitch, wrap your yarn and pull it through. So now you've got 3 stitches on your hook. Wrap your yarn, pull through 2, wrap your yarn, pull through 2. So that's your double crochet, or your triple crochet if you're in the UK. So now what we need to do in every single stitch or chain along if it's your first row is we need to be doing double crochet 2 together in every single stitch. So we'll wrap our yarn, insert it into the next stitch, wrap our yarn and pull it through. Then we'll wrap our yarn and pull through 2. So we're doing the double crochet 2 together or triple crochet 2 together if you're in the UK. So we need to wrap our yarn again, insert it into that same stitch, wrap yarn and pull through. So now you've got 4 loops on your hook. Wrap yarn, pull through 2, and then wrap yarn and pull through the 3 that are left on your hook. And that's your double crochet 2 together. So you do that in every stitch all the way to and including the final one on the row. So if we just move into the next stitch, so we've wrapped our yarn, insert your hook in the next stitch, wrap yarn and pull it through. So now you've got 3 loops on your hook. Wrap yarn, pull through 2. Wrap yarn, insert it into that same stitch. Can you see that? There's our stitch there. So we'll insert it into the same stitch, wrap yarn, pull it through. So now we've got 4 stitches on our hook. Wrap yarn, pull through 2 loops on your hook, wrap yarn, pull through the remaining 3 loops on the hook, and that is your double crochet 2 together. Ordinarily you would do that over 2 stitches in order to reduce your stitch count, but in this particular stitch we're doing it in each individual stitch, so it maintains the stitch count. So if we do the same thing in the next stitch, and each stitch all the way along. So wrap yarn, insert your hook into the next stitch, wrap yarn and pull it through, wrap yarn, pull through 2, wrap yarn, insert it into that same stitch, wrap yarn, pull it through, wrap yarn, pull through 2, wrap yarn and pull through the remaining 3 stitches on your hook. And again, wrap yarn, insert it into the next stitch, wrap yarn and pull it through, wrap yarn, pull through 2, wrap your yarn, insert it into the same stitch, wrap your yarn, pull it through, wrap your yarn, pull through 2, wrap your yarn and pull through 3. Now in order to get a good texture to this, you need to maintain a fairly tight but not ridiculously tight tension. So I'm just making my way across to the end of this row now, so up to the next stitch. So just to run through that stitch with you again, wrap your yarn, insert it into the next stitch, wrap your yarn and pull it through, so now you've got 3 loops on your hook. Wrap your yarn, pull through 2, so you're left with 2 loops on your hook. Wrap your yarn, insert it into the same stitch, wrap your yarn, pull it through, so now you've got 4 loops on your hook. Wrap your yarn, pull through 2, wrap your yarn and pull through the final 3. So now you're only left with 1 loop on your hook. And we're going to do that all the way along to the end. Got just a few stitches here to go, so I'll just quickly run through that with you again. So wrap your yarn, insert your hook into the next stitch, wrap your yarn, pull it through, wrap your yarn, pull through 2 loops on your hook, wrap your yarn, insert it into the same stitch, wrap your yarn and pull it through, wrap your yarn, pull through 2 loops on your hook, which leaves you with 3, wrap your yarn and pull through all 3, and the same into the next stitch. So wrap your yarn, insert your hook, wrap your yarn, pull it through, wrap your yarn, pull through 2, wrap your yarn, insert it into the same stitch, wrap your yarn and pull through, wrap your yarn, pull through 2, wrap your yarn and pull through 3. And we'll do that all the way to the end. And then the final stitch, which will be the chain 3 and the double crochet for the first part of the previous row. So you turn and chain in your first double crochet, which starts off your row, so you need to remember to count them as 1 stitch. And then you just work the stitch as you have all the way through the row, and it will give you a nice even edge. So just quickly to run through how we start the row, this is the only bit that's different. Chain 3, whoops, there we go, chain 3, turn our work, and we'll double crochet only into this first stitch. So that chain 3 and double crochet counts effectively as our double crochet 2 together, even though they're not technically together. We'll count them as 1 stitch, and then we'll continue with our double crochet 2 together in each stitch all of the way along. So wrap your yarn, insert it into the next stitch, your hook into the next stitch, sorry, wrap your yarn and pull it through, wrap your yarn, pull through 2 loops on your hook, wrap your yarn, insert it into the same stitch, wrap your yarn and pull it through, wrap your yarn, pull through 2 loops on your hook, wrap your yarn, pull through 3 loops on your hook, and then you finish that stitch. And we do it all over again, all the way to the end of the row. So wrap your yarn, insert it into the next stitch, wrap your yarn, pull it through. Wrap your yarn, pull through 2 loops on your hook, so you're left with 2. Wrap your yarn, insert it into the same stitch, wrap your yarn and pull it through. So now we have 4 loops on our hook. Wrap your yarn, pull through 2, wrap your yarn and pull through the remaining 3. And we'll do that all the way to the end. And just as a reminder, when we get to the end, if we pretend that this is our last stitch in the row, we'll chain 3, turn, double crochet into that first stitch, and then from that point onwards we're double crocheting 2 together in each stitch along. And that is your reminder of how to start the row. So you can see it does come out a really nice pretty texture. Come out a little bit there for you, which doesn't have an awful lot of drape, but it is nice, a nice squishy stitch. It's very tactile, I think is what I mean by that. So I do hope you've enjoyed learning the aligned double clusters with us today. If you have a project that you use this on, please feel free to show us what you've done. If you've enjoyed this video today, please give us the thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Just hit that little bell icon and we'll hope to see you soon. Bye!